So you're telling me there's a chance, in the words of Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, Sangare could be back on. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, or whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. In today's video, we will give you the latest on Sangare. As Lloyd Christmas says, you're telling me there's a chance, but is there? We'll give you all the details. We now know what's happening with Dominguez, how that deal's going to be broken down with him and Remo Freuler. We'll give you all those details. And personal terms have been agreed with a goalkeeper, and players are going out on loan. It's all kicking off now as we're getting closer to the final 24 hours of this transfer window. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and please make sure you have your alerts on. Anytime something breaks, should I say, we're going to bring it to you. It's going to be a busy and a crazy 24 hours as Forest are going to be extremely active in the market. And finally, you've got till 7:30 to go grab this Awoniyi home shirt signed by the legend himself. The link for the tickets are in the description down below. Go check that out. There's only about 30 tickets, so you need to be quick. All right, let's jump into the news, and we've got to start with this Sangare story. So Ibrahim Sangare, one of my shopping list, high up on that list as well. There's a chance. Why? Because Forest have found some money from somewhere. Let's rewind here. Look, he's been pretty much the marquee #1 signing that Forest have been after all summer. And about 2 weeks ago, it felt like it was dead. Forest had submitted a loan bid with an option to buy of 25 mil. The fee was going to then go up to 21 mil. It was just all kinds of really low ball figures. And now, Forest have submitted a bid for in and around 30 million, which is this close to the actual release fee clause, which is 37 million euros. And Forest are very close to what PSV will want to let him go. Now, don't get too excited just yet. I'm trying to contain it in myself as well, because what a game changer this guy would be for us, even in our crappy low block style. The problem is, the big problem isn't getting the fee agreed with PSV. That can happen. It's, does he want to come to Nottingham Forest? And I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Sangare sees Forest now as something that he would like to join? Bear in mind, PSV beat Rangers yesterday, so they're through to the Champions League. I really wanted them out, but whatever, man. It is what it is. I'm just not convinced that he's sold into the project yet at Nottingham Forest. But money does talk. Money really does talk, and the pull and appeal of the Premier League is in our favor over PSV and the Dutch league. So I just don't want to hype this up. I don't want to hype this up because I will go crazy with excitement. I can't express to you guys how perfect he is for Forest and how much he will change that midfield. Imagine him, Danilo, Santos, Dominguez. Oh, the options. The options are so good. And style of play, though, that leaves a lot to be desired. Like, very quickly on yesterday's game, this is a transfer video, so I'm not really going to touch on it too much. But if you want to get your comments in, comment on the live video we did straight after. But anyway, back to the more important stuff right now, which is Sangare. If Forest pull this off, if Georgie Boy gets it sorted, if Marinakis finds the cash for this, and if someone somewhere can convince Ibrahim to join, then you've got to just stand up and applaud. This is a hell of a deal for a hell of a player. And it's not just that, guys. It's the fact that this is a player that, look, let's be realistic. He's out of Forest's reach. You've got the likes of Liverpool who are interested in him. You had Man U trying to get him last summer. You got loads of big boys, PSG, Bayern, all these clubs have shown a huge interest in him. And if we pull this one off, this is a statement and a half from Nottingham Forest. And again, you have to applaud Marinakis and his ambition. Like, look at the other promoted teams. And I include the likes of Bournemouth, Fulham, and then the ones from this year. You got Luton, Sheffield United, and Burnley. Their managers would kill for their owners to be ambitious as Marinakis is and the investment he's putting in. I would actually say Bournemouth are probably the closest in terms of what they've brought. I think they've had a decent window. I don't think their manager can complain too much, but they still have nothing on the Greek father. He's just an absolute godsend to us, and I really do respect what he's doing for the club. So if this one comes off, we'll let you know. The talk is that the development of this one will happen sometime today if it's going to happen. And if it does, of course, we'll break it to you right now. But I will say, show caution, don't get excited, don't get attached yet. But this one is really starting to gather pace. Get your thoughts in on it down below. All right, guys, let's move on to our next story, and that is Nicolas Dominguez, who is pretty much all sorted with Nottingham Forest, but I just want to bring you the details of this deal. In case you missed the update on this the other day, basically, it's a swap deal with Remo Freuler going the other way to Bologna. However, as I mentioned, the valuations of the two players are night and day apart, and if Forest had pulled off a straight switch on this, again, wow. But it doesn't seem that they've been able to, and that's fine. That's fine. The valuation was way too different. But the deal itself now isn't as tasty and appealing as I first hoped it would be. Now, in terms of what we're going to pay for him, it is £9 million agreed with Bologna for him with the swap of Remo Freuler. Now, Freuler is going to go with a loan with an option to buy to Bologna. And what the fee on the option to buy is, not quite sure yet. My guess would be somewhere between 6 and 9 million at a push. So I think it's not too bad. What would make this deal really good is if they do decide to take that option to buy with Freuler, because then Dominguez technically would have cost us max 5 million, max, absolute max on that. So in principle, the deal is really good. And the player we're getting is definitely an upgrade on Remo Freuler. Look, I think Freuler is a decent player. I think he's been completely played out of position all season. He's not a 6, he's an 8. But Dominguez coming in will bite and energy into that midfield. As I mentioned yesterday, reminds me of a Verratti a little bit, would be the player I liken him to. And I'm excited about this one. It's just as I mentioned a minute ago, him, Sangare, Santos, Danilo. He's suddenly really upgrading our biggest position of weakness last year, which in my opinion was midfield, and midfielders who just couldn't pass the ball, couldn't hold down possession at all. Yes, we still haven't got a complete playmaker in there, but we would be bringing ball progressors in there with solid chiseled attributes as well. So I'm all in on this deal, really excited by it, and it's pretty much going to be announced in the next 24 hours. Well, technically it has to, but you get what I'm saying. So this one is pretty much deal done. As we mentioned, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't keep up anymore. But Freuler will go to Bologna, but he will be a loan with an option to buy. And just as a reminder, the fee for Dominguez coming to Forest will be about £9 million. How do you guys feel about that one? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so let's move on to our next story, which is Vlachodimos, the goalkeeper, who has agreed personal terms now with Nottingham Forest, which is a good start. However, if you remember, Forest have had a 9 million bid rejected for him because they're holding out for more money. And it really does start to get into that range of the price tag of where you have to wonder, is he coming in as a second choice or as a first choice? Because Turner was 7 million plus 3 in add-ons. And if Vlachodimos is coming in, and they probably want, I would guess, and it's just me speculating, about 11 to 12 million. It would make him more expensive than Turner. But price doesn't necessitate who is better. If we lived in that kind of market, well, we might as well just play Football Manager. So I don't know what the plan is here for Nottingham Forest. Now, I think Turner's been decent enough. I've been quite impressed with him. So having a second choice keeper who's pushing for a number one spot, well, that brings back the whole debate of keepers. Do you want two number ones in your team, or do you want a number one and a number two to deputize? I like this keeper a lot. I honestly think he will push Turner if we get him for that number one spot. He is really good. But do you want that competition in the squad? It's a question. Let me know your thoughts on it down below. But this one's definitely getting close. I don't think Forest will pay more than the £9 to £10 million mark for him. It may even have loads of add-ons tagged to it with appearances and things like that. We'll have to wait and see. We will keep you posted on it. But this one feels like two keepers that are too close in ability, and who would then become number one. But get your thoughts in on all of that down below. All right, so one bit of news that has been confirmed, and that is Lewis O'Brien going to Middlesbrough on loan for a season. And I've got to say, this one has disappointed me. I know he probably divides opinion, but I think he is a decent player. At the very least, I think he should be considered as a squad player. And there's players that should have gone ahead of him for me. Look, we all know who they are. Shelby Arter. You know, you can name about 3 or 4 more. I'm still not that convinced by Czech Kyoto so far this season. And Lewis O'Brien is a lot younger and has a lot more energy. So should he have been one of the first names on the chopping block? That is the question I want to pose to you guys. Now, he's gone out on loan, so clearly no one wanted to buy him. And the reason this has happened so late in the window is because Forest were holding out for someone to purchase Lewis O'Brien. But all that ever came were loan offers. So in the end, he's gone to Middlesbrough. Look, if I take my biasnesses away on the Lewis O'Brien situation, at least he's gone into the Championship, or outside of the Premier League, probably be the word I would use, because he was heavily linked to the likes of Sheffield United. And I think that would have been stupid to strengthen a fellow Premier League team. Well, they won't be Premier League for much longer. So at least he's not in the Premier League, but I am not happy with this deal. Get rid of the other deadwood first. Put the focus on that. Yes, I understand that you need to find clubs that want to get those players. And clearly no one wants them. Well, apart from us when we signed them. But Lewis O'Brien has signed for a season-long loan to Middlesbrough. There's also talks that Dennis is on his way to Serie A. And the quoted price is about 6.9 to £7.5 million. So Forest will be taking a big L on that transfer fee. But it just seems that Cooper, and I think it is Cooper on this one, he's the one who doesn't want him in the squad and has made his intentions clear about it. So expect Dennis to be finalized over the next 24 hours. And then the talks on Brennan Johnson. Look, I'll give you a very brief update. There is talks that the deal between Forest and Spurs is stalling currently on him, and that this transfer is slightly in the balance as things stand. This one is going to go down to the wire, and I still feel that he will end up going. Hopefully I have to eat my own words on that. But Spurs were very interested in Fati from Barcelona, and he signed for Brighton yesterday. Therefore, this narrows their options down on who they can get in the attacking positions. And there is talks of a couple of other players being linked to Spurs. So watch this space. We'll probably do a fuller Brennan Johnson update, but I just want to give you guys a bit of a break from it as the lead story. But get your thoughts in on that. Do you think Jono will stay or go, as there is just over 24 hours now left in the transfer window? All right, guys, let's leave it there. There's loads of other stuff to talk about, but we'll break it up into bite-sized chunks. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new to Forest Fan TV, get those notifications on, go check out that Awoniyi t-shirt, that Awoniyi shirt before the tickets run out. We'll see you on the next video. We've got a Chelsea preview coming for you shortly, and come on, you Reds.